Good morning. I think we're live. I'm Stampin DeDe. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And this is Stampin Thursday. And on Stampin Thursday, we do something fun every week. This week, we are going to look at 6x6 paper. But before we get into that, I want to remind you to redeem your bonus coupons this month. You've got couple more weeks, about 2.5 weeks left to redeem those coupons. So put in an order and get your free money. Don't forget to do that. Don't let August 31st go by. And starting next month, the new mini catalog will go live. And so be ready for that too. I've already ordered some stuff and I can't wait for it to get here. I didn't order it the first day, like some do. So I'm looking forward to getting mine Saturday. All right. I don't think there's anything else I really need to tell you about. So today we're going to look at 6x6 paper. And I don't know about you, but I rarely get more than one card out of one sheet of 6x6 paper. Now, I might use the scraps for the inside of a card or as an accent, but rarely. So we're going to look at two ways actually, and maybe even three, depending on our time, to get 5 or 6 cards out of a couple of coordinating sheets of designer series paper. So tune in, hang on, let me get the phone up on the stand, and we're going to get started. Hold on. Oh, here's what I need. Sorry. All right, here we go. And a call comes through. So I'm sorry about that. I don't know what you heard, but my phone was ringing. All right, let me double check my computer. Make sure that you can see everything. Well, it's not showing it yet, so hold on. There we go. All right, I think it just refreshed, and there we are. And all right, so what you're looking at is 2 sheets of designer series paper from one of my favorite papers that has been put out, and that's a Hello Irresistible. Now, this is what my package of Hello Irresistible 6x6 paper ends up looking like. I end up with all of these little pieces. I've gotten one card maybe out of that piece of 6x6 paper, and I end up with all these little pieces that I think I'm going to use, and I try to use, but I don't always use them. So we're going to look at a way to solve that problem. The first thing we're going to look at, we're going to use this paper, and we're going to look at this cutout pattern. I got all of my ideas off of the internet. I look for ways to do things, and ways to make my life easier, and ways to make your life more productive. And so this idea came off the internet, but I wanted to share it with you. This is one sheet of 6x6 paper, and this is the pattern that we're going to use first. So we're going to use this paper, and both sides, all the sides coordinate. I'm going to get my trimmer and put it right here. All right, the first cut we're going to make, and I'm going to put these two sheets of paper together. We're going to cut both of them exactly the same way. And so that's going to enable us to mix our patterns. So my first cut is going to be 2 inches. This cut right here, 2 inches. So I'm going to come along and cut 2 inches. My second cut, set that aside, is going to be 3 1/4 inches down. So 3 1/4 inches right there. And that's going to leave me a 3 1/4 inch by 2 inch piece and a 2 3/4 inch by 2 inch piece. So we've done that. Now I've got these. I'm going to set these aside. Let's see, put them right down here. And now we're going to take this piece, and it is 4 inches because we took 2 inches off. So this piece we're going to cut at 4 inches again. So I'm going to come to my 4 inch mark, and I'm going to make a cut. Now I'm going to take the 4 inch square. This is the 4 inch square right here. And I'm going to cut that diagonal, but I'm going to offset it. So I'm going to offset it about 1 inch on both ends. Doesn't matter. You could do it diagonally if you wanted to. I think it gives it more interest when it's offset just a little bit. So we're going to make that cut. All right, now we've got these two pieces. We've got this piece, these two, and these two. And now we're going to take this last 2 inches, which was this way. It's our last 2 inches. And we're going to cut 1 1/2 inches, which is going to leave us with a 1/2 inch. So we'll have a 4 by 1 1/2 and a 4 by 1/2. All right, we've got all of our pieces cut. I'm going to put my trimmer away right now. Now, we're not actually going to make a card with these because I've already done that. So the first card we're going to look at, I used a Calypso Coral base and a Petal Pink matte. So you can choose the base of your choice. The matte needs to be a light color. It can be white, basic white, or it can be a really light color, which is the reason I chose Petal Pink. There is some Petal Pink in my paper. There's Calypso Coral, there's Blue Lagoon, and the Manila. So really, I might have used the very vanilla instead of white, but I think that makes it stand out a little bit. All right, so that card is made with these two pieces, and we can go however we want to go. This card is going to be really different from this card because this time I chose two very similar patterns. But I probably would use that one right there. And it would just go right there, just like that. And then you would embellish on top of it, which I embellished this with the balmy blue and white ombre ribbon. And I cut a couple of flowers from the, maybe from the Sending Smiles, or the Sending, the Wishing You Everything Beautiful, because you totally deserve it. Yes, this is from the Sending set, the flowers. And then I added a couple of gems, 3 gems. How easy is that? How easy is that with these two pieces of Designer Series paper? All right, we're going to set those two aside because we've used them. And on to our next card. Next, we're going to use these funky pieces that we cut. Remember, we cut the 4x4 diagonally. All right, and so here's the card we made from that. And let me look. I think I want to use these two. I want this one and this one. Wouldn't that be pretty? I love the greenery that's coming on. That leaves us with two, and we're going to put them back over here. So I would use those two, just like I did on this card. And then I would embellish. I actually put my sentiment in the center. And then embellished, I used the Paper Florist. I think on the rest of these, I used the Paper Florist dies. And just used some more of that same Designer Series paper. Some of those scrappy pieces that I had, I used them to make the flowers. And then Lost Lagoon for the leaves. All right, this one I didn't do the inside. All right, so we've used those two, and I'm going to set them aside. And here's another card. And this one, you can tell, uses 3 pieces. It uses one of these larger ones. Man, I didn't cut that right, did I? That's that one. That must be this one. All right. So I need to decide which I'm going to use on this card, because I'm going to use this at the bottom. I love the gingham pattern. I just love that. It's hard for me not to use that. But maybe that and the leaves again. Maybe that. And then I'm going to use this little strip that we cut. And I think I'll just add the gingham again at the bottom. I like that look. So we haven't used that, or that. So on this card, we've used these 3 pieces on our petal pink background. I love that look. I love those 2 papers mixed. All right, so we've used those 3 pieces of paper, and you can see I put some ribbon around this piece right here. And I used the sending smiles and cut my sending love and big hugs. And then I used the little daisy Paper Florist die. And I inked the edges of that, the Calypso Coral. So, again, 3 simple little pieces cut from a 6x6 Designer Series paper, and creates another very nice, fun card. All right, so that's 3 that we've done. Here's number 4. This one, again, uses those 2 funky papers, and they would be like this. I would use it like that, or I could put this on the bottom again with my, no, it's going to have to be this on the bottom, and then this on the top. So whichever way I chose to do that, and then my petal pink, of course, base. Your sentiment can go right on your petal pink. All I did on this one was add a butterfly and some gems. So simple, and we've used these 2 pieces. Let's see, we can do it that way, or this way. or we can do it. We can't do it that way. We've got to do it. There are only certain ways that you can do it. Now, if I chose to do it the other direction, I could do that. I could do that. You can do anything you want with it. I'm just giving you, well, wait, can't do that, but I bet I could go this way. Yeah, I'd have to play around a bit with this. There, I could do that. And make it a little bit smaller with an edge, with the petal pink edge around it. Let's see. Yeah, I'd still have to, haven't maneuvered around very much with it. So we're just going to go with this because it seems to be the one that works the best. And you could put either one. I think I would put this one on top just because I think that looks nicer. So you could do lots with this. You could add ribbon. You could fill this with flowers. You could turn this into a male card, a masculine card. All right, so we've used our 2 funky pieces, and we have that card. So far we've got 4 cards. And now we're going to look at number 5. And this is going to use these last 3 pieces. So it uses this one, butted up against each other, and then this one at the bottom, or this one at the bottom. We could do it that way, or we could go this way. Either way, we could do this any way we wanted to do it. And still think I'd put this one at the bottom. So it's right along the bottom. And then on this one, I put my sentiment. I had it stretch from end to end as well. And I put some splatters with the Calypso Coral. Added some twine, added some cutouts. Actually, I already had these cut out and stuck in a container that I put my extras in. Used some Lost Lagoon gems. And we've got it. We've got our 5th card. We've used every piece of our 2 sheets of designer series paper. All right, that's one way to do it, and that, again, is using this pattern. And I will put this on my blog, and you can get to that at stampindedespot.blogspot.com, and I will have that up this afternoon, and you will have this, as well as photos of these samples. So let's set them aside. These are the cards I made. I showed you how you can embellish them. So we're going to take another pattern, and this I got off of another website. It's a much simpler pattern. And on this one, I'm going to use, now I'm not going to make the card totally. We're not going to embellish it. But I used the Lost Lagoon base, card base. We've got scraps of Balmy Blue. And then for my mat, I chose Very Vanilla. And the reason I did that is because I picked these 2 from the Inked Botanicals 6x6 set. So Petal Pink. The Inked Botanicals uses a lot of petal pink. All right. There we go with that. I'm looking to. So I chose, well, we're going to put these two sides together. Sometimes you put your busiest sides together. So we're going to do that and see how it comes out. So let's get busy and cut this one. I haven't made cards for this one. So we're just going to play around with it a little bit. All right, the first cut we're going to make is a 2-inch cut right here. So we're going to put these two pieces together and make a 2-inch cut. Now you could actually do this with one sheet, but I like the coordinating sheets. I really, really do. Now we're going to make a 3/4 inch cut right here. So 3/4 of an inch. Keep those two pieces together and cut 3/4 of an inch. And then we're going to have 2 by 3/4, and we're going to have 2 by 5 1/4. And when you put those together, you've got your 6-inch, this side, your 6 inches. Now we're going to take our 6-inch strip that is 4 inches wide, and we're going to cut it in half. So 3 inches. We're going to give it a 3-inch cut. So now we've got 2. Actually, we've got 4, because remember I cut 2 pieces with this one. Now we've got 2 4 by 3 rectangles. So we have our 6 by 6 paper cut just like this. There we go. It's our 6 by 6 paper. All right, like I said, I have not made the cards for this one. So probably if I spent more time doing it, I would come out with more cards. But I'm going to take this paper, and for this particular card, I'm going to put it right along here, and I think I might even take a strip of baby blue, of the balmy blue. Let's see how that looks. And put it right here, or I could put it up here, or, yeah, I could do that and put my sentiment right in the center. You could take this piece and run it through an embossing folder. In fact, let's do that real quick. Let's do that real quick and just see. I'm going to run it through the splatters. This is the splatters and lines, I think. It's the splatters and stripes. So I'm going to run this through this embossing folder. And I'm going to do it on my big machine right over here. But I'm not going to pull the machine over. You know how the embossing folders go. Hopefully you know. Let me run it through. It'll only take a second. Just to get an idea of how this might look. All right. Put my embossing folder away. Oh, yeah. That makes a big difference. Look at that. That way, or bring it down here. If you did that, you could turn your card either way. And then have a sentiment strip somewhere along there. I like that. I like that. I'm going to cut this down to 6 inches. Or let's see. No, this was 4 inches. Right? 4 inches. I'm looking to see which piece this was. This was this 1.5 by, oh, I'm looking at the wrong pattern. Yeah, this is 5 1/4. I was looking at the wrong pattern. No wonder I couldn't figure that out. 5 1/4. So let's get that one cut. Just a tiny piece off. There we go. I need to move that pattern away so I don't look at it. All right. So there we go. We could do that. Like I said, we're not going to make these cards. I'm just trying to give you some ideas of ways to use your 6 by 6. Now we're going to put this on here. And we're ready for our sentiment and some embellishments to turn this card into something special. Something special. All right, we've got that one. Now, let's try this one. And maybe this one. We could do this. We could do that. And then we've got 2 little spaces. We could add splatters or flowers. And then we put that on our Lost Lagoon. There we go. Do you like that? I think that's a good way to do it. You can also, well, I'll show you in a minute. We'll use these. That's one reason I'm not gluing them down. We'll use these, and then whatever embellishments we might want on that. All right, come along with another card. And this one, let's see. This card, maybe right down the middle. And we could take these, maybe, and add a banner. Or we'd have to banner the ends of that. Maybe a sentiment piece right here. Let's see. Yeah, this is a scrap. You can tell these are scrap pieces because they're they've got ragged edges. All right, let me cut this at 4 inches so we can play around with it just a little bit. I think I would want this piece smaller if I were going to do that. And I probably would use a die to cut this out. I probably would use a die. But it could be, then you could put a piece of Very Vanilla, and that could be your sentiment piece. And we would take these ends and banner them. We could do that. Lots of things, lots of ways we could put this card together. All right, we're going to do one more here. So I have a choice. If I wanted to make sure that I'm doing them different, I might just let the Very Vanilla frame this one. let me catch myself up over here. All right. Yeah, I think I would frame that one and add some ribbon, maybe some flowers. I might round the corners just to give it a little bit of interest. Have it ready to go on my card base. And see, on this one, you could bring in a piece of petal pink or calypso coral. If you didn't want to use these two little pieces over here, you could use them here, right there. Put a flower there or butterfly. I have a random butterfly over here that I didn't use before. Put a butterfly there, some ribbons, a sentiment. We could do that. Do you have random cutout pieces laying around? And then we've got the same thing here, and I have run out of Very Vanilla. I didn't cut quite enough. But I could do the same thing here with this, going the other way, or I could emboss my card front and do this, or I could put it here and put some ribbon around it. Put some Very Vanilla over here. I could put, I don't know that I would want a mat of balmy blue with this piece. I would want the balmy blue to show, so I could do that. All right, so that's just two different patterns that we've used to create some cards with our 6x6 paper. Now, another sample I saw, and I haven't played with it at all. Let me grab one more piece of pattern paper. I'm going to grab one with some design to it. All right, this is from the 23-25 in color. I thought I got one out, but maybe I didn't. I thought I did. I must have gotten all beside myself and put it away. So I'm going to take a piece of this pattern paper. This is the Moody Mauve out of this set of paper. And we are totally going to play with this. I have not done this at all. So I'm going to cut this into 3x3 squares. And we're going to cut it into 3x3. Because we're going to use some triangles. And right before I shut down last night, I saw this idea and I thought, oh man, I really like that. So I'm going to cut triangle. I'm doing evenly cut triangles here. And cut this one in a triangle. Cut this one in a triangle. I think we should be able to, let me see from this. And I'm going to cut this one in a triangle. I'm going to cut it in half. All right. So we have used 2 of our 3x3 squares. And I'm going to grab some of my Very Vanilla over here. And that's why I didn't glue any of that down. Actually, it should be basic white. That's very white. Let me grab some basic white. All right. Let's get some basic white out of there. So we could come along here And we would want to rotate patterns. Oh, that's the little one. We want the big one at first. Let's see. We could come along here like this. Maybe here and here. And do a card like that. We could do that. Let's see. If I go this way and this way. I'm thinking maybe more of the cut in half ones. Cut them in half one more time. Yeah. Cut them in half one more time. You see how we can piece this together and create a card? I'm going to cut this one in half and do the same thing on the opposite side. Oh, we're really just playing with this. But I love coming up with ways to use designer series paper. And I would alternate. And you could see, you could cut several different patterns. And really almost do a quilt-like design. Then you could have ribbon or another strip of paper across here. Let's see. I could come across here with, it's cut pretty perfect almost. Come across here with something like that. And then put a sentiment on it. I love playing with stuff like this. I just love it. I think that, and put your sentiment in the center. Put a bow in the center. I see that there's just so many ways that you could use this. If you wanted to leave a little bit of the white around the center pieces, you could do that. And then use your countryside corners and cut a piece for the center. So that's another way. Cut your 6x6 into 3x3 squares and then cut those into triangles and arrange them, and you'll have a very unique card that people will just, wow, how did she do that? Let me see. I'm going to set these on a card base just so we can get an idea of how this will look. All right, there we've got it on the card base. All right, there we go. So I hope this has encouraged you to use your 6x6 paper in a more productive way. Let me spread these out so we can see these ones, since these are the completed cards. And they looked just as dull as these do before I added the embellishments. And really all you need is a few flowers, a butterfly. Here's that butterfly that I used, another one like that one. I just pulled it out of a box of leftovers that I have. So I hope I've encouraged you. Hi, Kay. I see that you're on here. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. And yes, a great way so that we don't end up with designer series 6x6 paper that looks like this with all these little pieces. We can take a whole sheet of paper or 2 sheets of paper and create beautiful cards out of it. So this winter, when it's snowing outside, and we're just sitting around and we can't get out and do anything, take your 6x6 paper, pick out some coordinating patterns. Or how about tomorrow, because it's 107 outside? Do it today. I don't know about you, but I don't get outside very much. I look out and I see my weeds growing as fast as my flowers. My flowers are dying, but the weeds are flourishing. But I can't get out and pull them. I can't get out and do anything about it because it's so cotton picking hot. So we're looking forward to fall, aren't we? When weather cools down a little bit and we can get out and take care of some things we've left undone. All right, I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope I've encouraged you to get out your 6x6 paper and use it. So thank you, Kay. Thank you, and thank you for being here. If you're watching this on the replay, thank you so much. I do appreciate that. I really do. And I'll be putting it on YouTube pretty soon. So thank you. I know I have a lot of viewers on YouTube, and I do appreciate your viewing. And thank you for those of you that comment. That really means a lot to me. I go back and look at the comments. So thank you so much. I hope you have a blessed day and a blessed rest of your weekend. All right. Bye-bye.